with unmeasured praise.
Sing unto God and high affections raise to crown this conquest with unmeasured praise. With unmeasured praise.
Sing unto God and high affections raise to crown this conquest with unmeasured praise.
All right, thank you very much for keeping that very brief, very precise. While we're at it, the Deputy Speaker of the House of Reps arrived, Right Honorable Benjamin Kalu. CON, you're welcome. Well, like I said, we have seated with us some VIPs. I've cited His Excellency Dr. Kwesileze Nwodo and Dr. Mrs. Dolly Nwodo. We also have seated His Excellency the former Governor of Cross River State, His Excellency Clement David Ebery. Also here does His Excellency the former Governor of Imo State, Senator Owele Anayo-Rocha Sokoracha. Please help me acknowledge some of these people. Can we put our hands together? As I continue to get the protocol list, I'll continue to do some more recognitions. I also know that His Excellency, the former Governor of River State, who is a committee member, I've seen him here. His Excellency Rotimi Amaechi. Thank you very much. Now that we have the family seated here with us, we're going to go back to regular programming. Now that the family is seated, we'll also go back to regular programming. But before then, let me recognize the former SGF, Mr. Boss Mustafa. You're welcome, Your Excellency. We had to make that bit of adjustment to enable them arrive. Now we'll go back to the event flow. After the opening, members, we are supposed to take biography. And ladies and gentlemen, to read the biography of this great Nigerian that we are here today to honor, permit me to invite his son, Barrister Chijioke. Honor, please, a round of applause for Chijioke as he comes forward.
Thank you, sir. I would like to thank all of you for being here today to honor my father, Dr. Ogbonnaya Onu. My father, as you all very much know, was a very punctual man. So allow me to apologize for his family being late today. I hope you will forgive us and understand that it was because of love. My mother, Chinere Onu, was heartbroken, and it was very difficult to get her to come here today, because as she sat there, it all sank in that the man she has loved for 40, 50 years has left us. And so me and my brother found her standing in front of in her room. Go through and read his accomplishments in school. But given the time constraints, I would just say he did very well. He studied very hard, and he got very good grades, and eventually went to school in the United States of America at the University of California, Berkeley. He was the president of the Nigeria Association of Northern California, Inc., a student leader, and he achieved a lot. And that was his beginning of his life in politics. After that, he returned to Nigeria and taught at the University of Port Harcourt in Rivers State. He became the head of the Department of Chemical Engineering, which he created from scratch. He then resigned that appointment to run for the governor of Imo. And when Imo was split, he ran for the governor of Abia State, a position he held and won in 1991. His colleagues and fellow governors saw something in him and chose to elect him as the first Nigerian to be the chairman of the Nigerian elected governors. As governor, he mobilized the people of Abia State for sustainable development and security of citizens. He also vigorously pursued infrastructure development. I forgot to mention that when he was in Port Harcourt, and this was important to him, so I want to mention it, he was the president of the Rotary Club In 1999, he emerged as the first presidential flag bearer of the then All People's Party, which later became the All Nigerians People Party. That was the first time he showed true self-sacrifice, as he chose not to participate in the general election because the two parties became an alliance, and that's what a sacrifice he did for the better good. I will skip ahead, and I will say that he was instrumental in creating, I guess him along with Buhari and others were instrumented in creating I guess I lost it. Where is it? Apologize. Where is it? The new political party. And then he became the Minister of Science, a position he held twice. And later on, he tried one more time to be President of Nigeria, a position he truly wanted and unfortunately never got. But I believe my father was more than his politics and more than his schooling. And that's why I guess did not read this very closely, because to me, he was a man who showed that it is better to put others ahead of yourself. He showed that it is better to have a dream and to believe of a better future, not for himself, but for other people. My one hope is that there is one person in Nigeria today who he has inspired to pick up that mantle. One person who will rise and put this great country in front of himself and make all of us better people. So as we sit here today, I wish we all remember a man who gave everything he could to help other people, who sacrificed, and believe me, he sacrificed his own family to help others because he believed in the future of Nigeria. So as we are here and as we remember him, I would like for us to also remember and think of that hope of a better Nigeria. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Barrister Chijioke Onu. I totally understand. He tried to do us a favor. You know, it's a very long biography. So what he tried to do is to, in the moment as he read, to try and edit, which is a very tough thing to do. So we totally understand. It is not easy. Because if you look at the biography of the man that if you look at that biography, it's so huge. Where do you start? Where do you live? We're talking about a man who not only was knowledgeable, but all through his lifetime pursued knowledge. A fellow of 10 science and engineering institutes, winner of several national and international awards, including the Kwame Nkrumah Award for Leadership in 2011-2012. A proud son of Igbo land with so many traditional titles. He served in so many capacities. The pioneer head of Department Chemical Engineering of the University of Port Harcourt, acting Dean Faculty of Engineering, University of Port Harcourt, the first civilian governor of Abia State, President Raw Materials Society of Nigeria, and the first presidential candidate of the All People's Party that later became the ANPP. Minister of Science and Technology, and so many, 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 many more positions he occupied in his lifetime. Indeed, an accomplished Nigerian. I did say earlier on, for those of us who joined us earlier on, that in addition to all these accomplishments, fine statesman, devout Catholic, political strategist, author and poet of 12 books, is not easy. A researcher, consultant, and an inventor with 6 patents. I wonder how many Nigerian researchers today have patents in their name. That is the man that we've all gathered today to celebrate. We'll move on to tributes. I did promise that as we make progress, I'll continue to recognize some more of the dignitaries that we have here with us, because there are quite a number of them. But for now, let me invite to kickstart that segment a member of the family, another lawyer. That's a family of so many lawyers. Talking about the daughter. Ladies and gentlemen, please let's appreciate the young lady as she comes forward. Barrister Wakako Onu, please. A round of applause for her. She makes her way up here. Yeah.
Thank you very much. Good evening, everyone. So, my dad was my dad was a very good man. He was very humble, was very selfless. He loved everyone regardless of character. He sees people beyond what they are. And growing up with my dad was the best thing that ever happened to me as a person. I was lucky, among my siblings to be the one. I lived with him till the day he left the world. He loved Nigeria like more than his own family. Like he would tell us that he has so many plans for Nigeria. He doesn't sleep. He would stay awake, studying so much to give to Nigeria. So, but he is well. Life didn't give us the chance to, for him to get to where he has always dreamt of getting to. But one thing his family is holding on to is he made a good name for us, a very good name. And we promise to keep that name going. And thank you. And I promised to my dad, I always call him my dad because I was the only one with him. So I promised to our dad is wherever he left, wherever he left, so we continue from where he left from. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you. It's indeed an emotional day. I know how tough it must be for you and your family. May the Almighty continue to strengthen all of you. All right, to move on, next to come, like we have said, we all know he's a man of so many different parts. So we are going to take people from across all spectrum of his life to just to select a few people to come and speak. We'll take a representative of former ministers. He was once a minister. And at this point, please, Your Excellencies, permit me to invite Alhaji Mohammed Abdullahi to please come forward here and speak. if you actually mean to clap, can we make that more lively? We are now live on television, so more energy will be good. Thank you so much.
Your Excellencies, particularly the former President of the Federal Republic, former governors who are here, ministers, former and current. Like the Master of Ceremony mentioned, it's really an emotional day for some of us. But I would like to say a few words about Dr. Ogbonnaya Onu. In 2015, when he was appointed the Minister of the Ministry of Science, Technology, and Innovation, he was the sole person administering the ministry. So in 2019, however, there was a slight change. The then President Muhammadu Buhari, in his own wisdom, appointed me as a Minister of State to serve with Dr. Ogbonnaya Onu. Expectedly, it was a bit tensed between me and him. And to make matters more cumbersome, I'm a lawyer. I have no science background at all. So I'm going to work with someone who is completely a scientist. I recall vividly one day when we had a very stormy meeting of management. This event goes to demonstrate how humble and how genuinely empathic he is. So there was a slight argument between me and him before management over a certain issue. When it became so tense, the permanent secretary advised myself, Dr. Ogbonnaya, the late Dr. Ogbonnaya Onu, and myself to retreat to the office. So inside the office, to my astonishment, he hugged me and said, "Look, gentleman, I do not mean what you say. These are the issues I have." I realized that I actually was the one who misunderstood him. And he explained in very clear terms why he felt so strongly about those issues we're arguing about. So that shows how very humble he is. And instantly he now called the permanent secretary and said, "Look, go and do what the Minister of State wants." It shows understanding, it shows compassion, it shows a deep sense of humility from Dr. Ogbonnaya Onu. Now, we always remember him for his passion for innovation and science in Nigeria. That is why today we call him the father of science, technology, and innovation. You all recall that the federal government Order 5 on local content was vigorously pursued by Dr. Ogbonnaya Onu to demonstrate that whatever we do as a country in Nigeria, we must ensure that it reflects local content in terms of engineering, architectural, and scientific designs for the country. So he's someone who stood and fought for science and technology in Nigeria. He's someone who has, dedicated his entire life towards ensuring that Nigeria competes favorably with other countries in terms of STI. Now, one last funny thing that we did with Dr. Ogbonnaya Onu was when we want to rename the Ministry of Science and Technology to Ministry of Science, Technology, and Innovation. Luckily, the former SGF is here. Then there is the Ministry of Communications and Innovation, and Digital Innovation. There was a heated argument as to why our ministry should use the word innovation. And of course, the Minister of Communications then, Professor Fantemi, struggled to oppose the introduction of innovation under the Ministry of Science, Technology, and Innovation. That was the first time I saw Dr. Ogbonnaya Onu becoming so passionate, so excited, angrily trying to demonstrate to the council that, look, innovation is part of science and technology, and no nation can move forward without science, technology and innovation. And of course, the rest is history. I thank you so much for listening. We wish the family the fortitude and to bear this great loss. Thank you so much.
Thank you so very much, sir. All right, talking about innovation and science and technology, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to recognize the Honorable Minister of Innovation, Science and Tech, Chief Uche Naji. You're welcome. You're welcome. Yeah, you arrived while we're busy. Okay. I also have here on the list the immediate past minister. That is what the document I have here says of Science and Technology, Senator Mamora, CON. Recognize, sir. You're welcome. Immediate past Minister of Budgets and National Planning, Prince Clem Abba, CON. We recognize you. You're welcome, sir. We'll continue to do some more recognitions, but please, we have captured some exciting moments that we would like you to please pay attention on the screens as we play them. Just give us a few minutes and all attention on the screen now as we play you a brief documentary. And after that, we'll go back to the tributes. Thank you very much.
Dr. Ogbonnaya Onu was a thoroughbred and well-equipped for leadership position. From the kindergarten age, he showed excellence. Christopher Ogbonnaya Onu was born on December 1, 1951, to the family of His Royal Highness Ezeadu of Uburu in Uhausara local government area of Ebonyi State. Ogbonnaya had the real privilege of a decent education, which began at St. Jacob's Primary School, Umuchima, Enuagu, and concluded that level at St. Paul's Primary School, Enokwe, Ogu, in his hometown of Uburu. In 1964, he started his secondary school education at Mary Knoll College, Okuku, Ogoja, now Cross River State. However, his secondary school education was interrupted by the advent of the Nigerian Civil War. After a long search, he was admitted into Class 5 Special at Izzi High School, Abakaliki. Irrespective of skipping a class, he obtained grade 1 with distinction in his West African School Certificate Examination and was the best graduating student at Izzi High School, Abakaliki, Ebonyi State. He was admitted for the Higher School Certificate Program at the College of Immaculate Conception, CIC, Enugu. In 1972, he completed the 2-year program and came out as the best graduating student with distinction in physics and chemistry. Ogbonnaya Onu gained admission into the University of Lagos, Akoka, to study chemical engineering as one of the pioneer students in the newly established Department of Chemical Engineering in 1973.
He came in with distinguished results and was actually number 2 when I admitted them. And he kept that position number 2 throughout his course, University of Lagos, and he made a first class at the end of his course.
Dr. Christopher Ogbonnaya Onu was a devout Catholic. His father, His Royal Highness Eze David Aba Onu, was a baptized Catholic. Dr. Onu held dearly sacred his faith as a Christian.
A great father. Great for many reasons. I will mention 2. 1, he was a disciplinarian. Taught us to listen to our elders and obey the rules. Another is he was a strong believer in the power of positive thinking, the belief of hope conquering fear, and that one can accomplish almost anything as long as one is well prepared and takes a disciplined approach to accomplishing one's tasks.
He was a man of great creative mind. He held 6 patents. He has also written 14 books on different subjects areas, including philosophy, science and technology, politics, developmental studies, biography, and poetry. He was in the process of publishing 2 others before he surrendered to the cold hands of death.
He gave his family quality time. Even when the children were growing up and he's playing one role or the other, he would write letters to them. And he would write letters on me. As busy as he was, he wrote all these books. There's a one he wrote, My Story of Life, Poems from the Heart. This place contains a poem on me, the only one. You are special and unique. You are the only one. Your birthday heralds the start of summer. You bring warmth and joy, happiness and relaxation, putting smiles on those who spent most of the year in cold. You are God's special gift. You are truly Nkechinyere.
He's a dependable man, dependable friend. So I said, I don't call him anymore my student. I always call him my friend.
Right. You know, no length of video can capture every aspect of a great man. But we've managed to put together those short clips. We'll go back to tributes. Like I said earlier on, he's a man of so many different parts. And there are so many other different actors that played alongside him while he was with us. Now I'm going to bring on a representative of former governors to also speak. Permit me to invite the former governor of Cross River State, His Excellency Clement David Ebri. Please a round of applause for him as he comes forward.
President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Dr. Ebele Jonathan, the National Chairman of the All Progressives Congress, Your Excellencies here present, good evening, everyone. Well, I came in to attend this event as a very close friend of Dr. Onu, but I've ended up also being asked to represent our class of 92. And we have one of us here, Dr. Okweseleze Nwodo. We were 30 at that time because we had 30 states, but we have lost about 16 with Dr. Ogbonnaya Onu, 16 gone. So we are just 14 left. And most of our colleagues are ailing, and that is why they are unable to be here. In fact, this morning I spoke with His Excellency Rufus Ada George. He's in Port Harcourt, but he said he was heading to the doctor's office. So you please accept my apologies, the apologies from me. My dear friend Ogbonnaya Onu was a very well-organized person, and I didn't think I should just come here and say things and go away. So I had to prepare. He wasn't a casual person at all. In fact, when he launched his book on his stewardship in Abia, I was a reviewer. And when he launched the one from opposition to ruling party, I was the presenter in 2015. So permit me to just put whatever I say here applies, is exactly what my other colleagues think about him. In fact, they would say I concur. So let me start by saying that it's with heavy heart and profound sadness that I stand to honor the life and legacy of my dear friend, brother, and fellow servant of the people, His Excellency Dr. Ogbonnaya Onu. Words, feel are insufficient to capture the essence of a man whose life was a testament to the highest ideals of integrity, service, and friendship. Yet, in this moment of reflection, we can only strive to honor him by remembering the man he was and the legacy he leaves behind. Dr. Onu and I first crossed paths in 1991 when we both emerged as governors-elect of our respective states, an encounter that initiated a friendship spanning 33 years. This bond was built not only on shared personal admiration and a commitment to principled governance. From the onset, it was evident that Dr. Onu was a man whose entire life was dedicated to service. Service to God, the nation, and humanity at large. His quiet dignity, which no one can deny, profound intellect, and capacity to articulate complex ideas with both clarity and humility left an indelible impression upon me, setting the foundation for a friendship that transcended professional boundaries. We journeyed side by side through our days in office, sharing ideas and strategies, acting as each other's sounding boards, and counseling one another on the path forward. In fact, on August 15, 1992, when I was received by my community in Pani, Cross River State, Dr. Onu was there, and he came with what we used to call the Wafia war dance, Bend the war dance. He brought that troop to there, and ever since he brought that group, I've been so much, in love with them that each time I have an occasion, that group is always around, and that is the person we remember for that. Our friendship was not merely professional, it was deeply personal. When our time as governors was cut short in late 1993, Ogbonnaya Onu was the first to reach out, not with bitterness, but with vision seeking solutions and charting the way forward for our people and our country. Throughout his public career, Dr. Onu consistently exemplified the philosophy of perseverance and hope, encapsulated in his oft-repeated maxim, whatever the adversity, we are well able to overcome. This principle, cultivated during his early years in student leadership and sustained throughout his tenure as a statesman, underscored his lifelong approach to governance and public service. Whether serving as lecturer, as governor of Abia State, as chairman of the defunct All Nigeria People's Party, or as Nigeria's Minister of Science, Technology, and Innovation, Dr. Onu demonstrated a steadfast belief that challenges, no matter how formidable, are merely opportunities for progress when addressed with purpose and resolve. As a scholar-statesman, Dr. Onu's intellectual contributions were formidable. His works, such as The Greatness of Nations, Technology in Building, and A Footprint, Memoirs of a Chief Servant, to name just a few, reflect not only his comprehensive understanding of governance, but also his enduring commitment to the advancement of knowledge and technological innovation as cornerstones of national development. The Chinese have this saying that the faintest ink is better than the sharpest memory. And when you see someone documenting everything he does, you can understand what we are doing here. The number of books he has written, the faintest ink is better than the sharpest memory, indeed. Dr. Onu's life was equally defined by his conscious engagement with providence. He approached every opportunity, challenge, and responsibility with spiritual awareness, recognizing the role of divine grace in shaping human affairs. In our personal conversations, particularly during my final visit to him, he reflected on his physical ailments with remarkable equanimity, remarking that it was the first time in his life he had ever been hospitalized. Those words linger with me still, a poignant reminder of the fleeting nature of life. In all his years of boundless energy, a single moment brought everything to a halt, reminding us that our pursuits must always be tempered by the reality of our mortality. And among the many qualities that distinguish Dr. Onu, his character remains perhaps the most noteworthy. He was a man of impeccable integrity, embodying the highest ideals of public service. In a political landscape often marred by duplicity and opportunism, Dr. Onu stood as a paragon of consistency and ethical leadership. His commitment to justice, His commitment to justice, fairness, and accountability was unwavering. He drew a clear distinction between public office and personal gain. And now, if I may add, between public funds and his private purse, maintaining an unblemished record throughout his political career. As one of the founding members of the All Nigeria People's Party, ANPP, he held firm to his beliefs, never wavering in his commitment to good governance. Even as parties merged and landscapes shifted, he remained loyal to his ideals from its inception in 1998 until the party's eventual merger into the All Progressives Congress in 2013. He never shifted grounds. His life was a lesson in consistency. No matter the challenge, Ogbonnaya Onu stood firm on what was right. In reflecting on his life, I am reminded of the words of Romans chapter 12, verse 10. Love one another with brotherly affection. Outdo one another in showing honor. This scriptural injunction aptly captures the essence of our friendship, one built on mutual respect, unwavering loyalty, and shared values. Dr. Onu exemplified this love and honor in both his personal relationships and public service, leaving behind a legacy that will stand as a moral compass for future leaders. In concluding, though we mourn his passing, we celebrate a life well lived and a legacy that will stand the test of time. Farewell, my brother. Farewell, our brother. Your light has not gone out. It has only moved on to shine brighter in the presence of the one who called you home. Rest well, my brother. Your light endures. May God, in his infinite mercy, grant Dr. Ogbonnaya Onu eternal rest. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency, former Governor of Cross River State, Clement Abri. It was a long speech, but he had the ability to make it sound interesting, so I had to let it pass. Thank you, sir. Please, other subsequent speakers, please help us cut it down to a minute or two so that we can accommodate as many as we have and make proper use of time. Coming up next, before I invite him, let me quickly recognize a representative of the governor of Abia State, who is ably represented by Dr. Sonny Ajala, Senior Advocate of Nigeria. You're welcome, you're recognized. I also have information that the former Minister of Niger Delta Affairs, Pastor Usani Oguru Usani, is here. We recognize you. Moving on, let me invite at this point the former Governor of Rivers State, His Excellency Chibuike Rotimi Amaechi. Please, a round of applause. Let us appreciate him as he comes forward.
Your Excellency, the former President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, the Right Honorable the Deputy Speaker of the House of Representatives, the Chairman of APC, our dear distinguished former governors, senators, my colleagues in the cabinet, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. Mine will be very brief because I'm aware that the chairman has ordered that we should be conscious of time. I just want to say to you that it's a bit difficult to describe my relationship with Dr. Onu. Most people didn't know we had one, including his family, because he makes his call like President Babangida will make his call. You are sure to get a call from President Babangida. That's the same way he always will make a call to me. And our friendship started when he called me one day and said, we need to work together. And I said, I'm very willing to work with you. And we met in your house, he and I. Subsequently, we've had a series of meetings on how to work together. And I realized that there are very few Nigerians like Dr. Onu. When he was a lecturer at the University of Port Harcourt, I was a student. I was. In fact, I was at the University of Port Harcourt I left University of Port Harcourt in 1987. So I got into University of Port Harcourt in 1983, and he was a lecturer at the University of Port Harcourt already in the chemical engineering department. He was even a dean of the Faculty of Engineering. Graduated and ran. I didn't play APP politics. I've always played majority party politics. Or party in government, put it that way. Because if you want to define what majority is, so party in government. And when it was time to form a proper opposition party. I ran into him again. As chairman of Nigerian Governors Forum, he and I spoke. We had a series of meetings and conversation. There are very few Nigerians. If we are 260 million Nigerians, they are not up to 10 million Nigerians. The rest 250 are not Nigerians. They are either Igbos or Yorubas or Hausas or Fulanis or Ikweres. Their husband is a Nigerian. You will see all of them in one position or the other, wearing one gown or the other. Your husband is a Nigerian. That was the principle by which I decided to work with him, because the solution we were looking for is the solution of making sure that Nigeria as a country moved forward. Unfortunately, he did not achieve that before his death, but our conversations have not gone away from me. We would ensure that by God's grace, his dream Nigeria will come to pass. The problem is not Dr. Ogbonnaya Onu again, it's you, the children. I hope you know. His shoes are big. You really need to fill those shoes. His integrity, I don't want to say it here so I don't cause controversy. You can ask any member of the committee, they will tell you the integrity of your father. There are things we realize in the committee. And one of our friends said, "Are you sure there are Nigerians like this?" I said, yes. There are so many Nigerians like Ogbonnaya Onu, but they're not up to 10 million. Those ones are below 10 million. The 10 million Nigerians, less than 10 million Nigerians who have that integrity. Your father is a good Catholic. The two of us were promoted in the night of St. John together as noble knights. And he believes in God. May his soul rest in peace.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency Chibike Rotimi Amaechi. All right, the next set of tributes will come from the Honorable Minister of Works, Innovation, the Deputy Speaker of the House, of course, the National Chair of the APC, and we'll still have our former President in the building. But before we take those set of tributes, Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, please permit me to invite Obiblo Music for another special rendition. Would like to bridge the speeches with a bit of a musical tribute, and after that we'll come back to the tributes. Thank you very much.
should buffet, though trials should come, let this blessed assurance control that Christ has regarded my helpless state and has shed His some blood for my soul. It is well with my soul. With my soul. It is well. It is well with my soul. Onward, Christian soldiers, marching us to war. With the cross of Jesus going on before, Christ the royal master leads against the foe. Forward into battle, see His banners grow. Onward, Christian soldiers, marching us to war. With the cross of Jesus going on before, as the sign of triumph, Satan's host not flee. On the Christian soldiers unto victory. Hell's foundations quiver at the shout of praise. Brothers, lift your voices, loud your anthems raise. Onward, Christian soldiers, marching us to war. With the cross of Jesus going on before, it is well with my soul.
Thank you very much. Awesome performance by Obiblo Music. I just cited distinguished Senator Sita Izunasu. You're welcome. All right, we'll go back to tributes. I did reel out a list of the next set, but permit me to start from Ebonyi State, where we have representing the governor today, who is ably represented by the Deputy Chief Whip of the Senate. Ladies and gentlemen, let me invite Senator Barrister Peter Onyekachi Mwabon to please come forward. Please, a round of applause.
Your Excellency, the former President and Commander-in-Chief of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, President Goodluck Ebele Jonathan, the National Chairman of our great party, the APC, Deputy Speaker, House of Reps, my boss, the man that brought me into politics, His Excellency Senator David Nweze Umahi, Honorable Minister of Works. Let me briefly and most concisely, on behalf of my brother, my leader, the governor of Ebonyi State, welcome you all. And I want to appreciate you most sincerely for making our time to be here to pay tribute to our leader and our statesman, late Dr. Ogbonnaya Onu. Dr. Ogbonnaya Onu, as we all know, was a good child of God who spent most of his time working for God through service to humanity. And we believe that at present, he is in heaven, resting with his Creator. Thank you for coming. May God bless Nigeria.
Thank you. Thank you for helping me keep it brief. All right. We've heard from Ebonyi. Representing the governor of Abia State, Dr. Alex Oti, was ably represented by Dr. Sonny Ajala, Senior Advocate of Nigeria. If you're here, please quickly, 1 minute. Abia State. Okay, I will move on. It's coming? Okay. Well, time is not on our side. We are live on TV. TV time is money. All right.
Good evening, great audience. May I, on behalf of the Governor of Abia State, His Excellency Dr. Alex Oti, convey his heartfelt condolences to the family and to assure the family and Nigerians that Abia State indeed recognize and appreciate the foundation he laid in the governance of Abia State. His Excellency Dr. Alex Oti is determined to sustain the intellectual bedrock in governance. They share a lot in common. They passed through University of Port Harcourt, both made first-class University of Lagos, and his dream and vision, like it was captured in 1992, the making of a red breed. Abia State is on the trajectory of also sustaining the legacy of red breed. May his soul rest in perfect fear. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. You are truly a senior advocate in Nigeria. Use of time, straight to the point, made your case and took a bow. Thank you, sir. Yes. All right, next to speak, Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, is the former governor of Ebonyi State and currently the Honorable Minister of Works. Please, a round of applause as I invite Senator Engineer Nweze Dave Umahi. Your Excellency, sir. While he's on his way, let me also recognize quickly that the former Deputy Governor of Ebonyi State is also here, Dr. Eric You're welcome.
Thank you. Your Excellency, our father, the former President of Nigeria, Dr. Ebele Goodluck Jonathan, Your Excellency, the Deputy Speaker of the Federal House of Representatives, our father, the chairman of our dear party, All Progressive Congress, His Excellency, former Senate President, and the chairman of the organizing committee. Let me recognize the representative of my governor, the Deputy Chief Whip of the 10th Senate, Barrister Onyeka Chinwebonyi. Let me stand on protocol in place. Let me first thank Senator Anyim Payosayim and all the organizing committee members for the honor of organizing this program for my brother, His Excellency Dr. Ogbonnaya Onu. We are not just brothers because we came from Uburu, the same community, but he's also a blood brother to me, and coincidentally, a blood brother to my wife also. And Dr. Onu was a great trailblazer. And like Senator Im said, a shining light, especially to our generation from the entire Ebonyi South. He was not just a mentor to me, he was a kinsman whose positive marks inspired great leadership motivations to his people, Uburu. He was a man so loved by the entire Uburu community. I'm not sure that we've had any other illustrious son that our people so much loved and cherished like Dr. Ogbonnaya Onu. He was a man of great character and content. He was charming in character and charismatic in leadership. While alive, he marked a threshold in intellect, integrity, industry, and passion for excellence in all his endeavors. He was a great illustrious son of Uburu community who made an immeasurable impact in nation building and service to humanity. Though he departed at a time of leadership and service to humanity, we shall forever cherish the values he bequeathed and the gains of the service he renders as pioneer elected governor of Abia State, former national chairman of the All People's Party, APP, first presidential flag bearer of APP, as former Honorable Minister of Science and Technology, and a host of other services he rendered to his community and the nation. Let me also appreciate him as one of the people that toiled and made all the sacrifices to merge and bring us the leading light in our political dispensation, the All Progressive Congress. Our consolation and fortitude are in the assurances that he lived the true purpose of life, which is service to God and humanity. My deepest condolences go to his wife, children, the entire family of His Excellency, late David Abono, Ezeaduwan of Uburu, the government and people of Ebonyi State. We ask and pray God to grant him fair judgment, and may he rest in the bosom of the Lord. Let me also say that the political growth we have in our town, the light we have in our town, it was the foundation of such. When I was governor from Uburu, and the issue of who was going to be the minister from Ebonyi State came, and people will pose that, no, you can't have governor and minister from the same place. His Excellency, the president then chose him based on his character and content. And it was very rare to have in a community like Uburu, a governor and a minister, coming from the same community. And at the same time, you have from a community, one single community, two governors coming from that community. So he was indeed a shining light, and he prepared the way for us to thrive. May his soul rest in peace.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency. There must be something interesting happening in your community. All right. We'll move on to the next. Next to speak, Your Excellencies, is the Honorable Minister of Innovation, Science and Technology. Please, a round of applause as I invite Chief Uchennaji. Please, let us appreciate him and welcome him with a warm round of applause.
His Excellency, the former President of and Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of Nigeria, President Ebele Azikiwe Jonathan, His Excellency, the Deputy Speaker of the House of Representatives, my brother Benjamin Kalu, the National Chairman of the largest party in Black and White Africa, Dr. Abdullahi Ganduje, the former excellencies, governors, the former ministers, serving and non-serving, the former members of the National Assembly, serving and non-serving. Let me stand on already established protocol this evening. May I, on behalf of the Ministry of Innovation, Science and Technology, all the departments and agencies of my ministry, extend our deepest condolences to the family of His Excellency Dr. Ogbonnaya Onu. Dr. Onu's death was a national shock, and especially to those of us in the innovation, science, and technology ecosystem. The most striking legacy he left for us, among so many, including the policies he enunciated while alive in the science and tech, is the Presidential Executive Order number 5, which focuses on promoting Nigerian content in innovation, engineering, and technology. He was a very, very tireless leader, and for us that didn't meet him in good time in politics, we saw him as a very great gentleman, a leader of note, and I will lay my condolences to the family of Ogbonnaya Onu. And while he was in the hospital, I was one of the few people that the president sent on a regular basis to come and check on him with Professor Pate of Federal Ministry of the Minister of Health. So I will say, may his soul rest in perfect peace. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Minister. Yeah, let me quickly recognize the presence of the former Minister of Health, Dr. Onyebuchi Chukwu. You're recognized, sir. You're welcome. All right, speaking next is the Deputy Speaker of the House of Representatives. Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, please a round of applause as I invite Right Honorable Benjamin Kalu, CON. You're welcome. Your Excellency, the former President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, my own National Chairman of APC, the ministers here present, the former governors here present, Senate President, former members of the National Assembly here present, in no order of protocol. It's a night of questions for me. And please permit me to stand on the well-established protocols well done by the MC and others who spoke before me. I call this a night of questions. Questions in the sense that the virtues that we describe here today of this man that we love so much, that almost sounds like cliches. What are we doing about sustaining them? We talk about integrity and it sounds like you just pick it from the shop. He invested in that. And what is integrity? It's the ability to do the right things even when nobody is watching. Is it in abundance today? Or is it a scarce commodity? A night of questions. We talk about hard work. When even leaders are instrumental to making sure they push their children from one level to the other without them going through the pain of winning success. It sounds like a cliche, hard work. We talk about selflessness. And it sounds so common. But how many of us in this room and outside this room are selfless? Putting others first before you. We talk about humility. Like Jesus who asked the disciples, who do men say that I am? Night of questions for me. And who do you say that I am? You find out that I would have preferred that he was sitting down here and hearing the description of who he is and what he represents. They sound beautiful, but they are not borrowed. They are real. We experience it. 33 years ago, he was governor of my state. I was there. We hosted Madam. She must have forgotten. Total Health Organization, my elder brother, hosted you, the famous Ogbonnaya Onu then. You represented your husband some donkey years ago. There is no description that we mentioned today that was not intact as far back as then. Consistency, we talk about it. Leaders, how consistent are we? In this room are multiple leaders, leading businesses, leading politics, leading in every aspect of life. Permit me, MC, to raise this question as we go. While we celebrate this man that we love too much, what did he leave behind? The spirit of integrity. How many have embraced it? Who is willing to embrace it? The son stood here and he said, the desire of my father is to have people like him who will love Nigeria, who will show integrity. And that has raised this question. And we must answer this question to ourselves if we love him. I saw a man who was willing to give from his scarce resources. I was running for an office without no direct contact with him, and a whole lot of us, from his little income, he sent each of us money and said, we are supporting you as the new generation of leaders. I got mine. He wasn't the richest, but he had a heart filled with patriotism that he wanted to pass the baton to the new generation of leaders, not only in words, but in act. That is the man we are discussing today. How many have you done? In a time when leaders are afraid of the new ones who are coming up, this man was confident in his skin, and he was saying, I am supporting you to take over the baton. That is who we are talking about. You know, it's usual and it's traditional. We come to an event like this, we read it as it is. We make it sound so beautiful, and we go home without taking anything back home. What would Governor Ogbonnaya Onu have you and I do? That should be the question. Night of questions. He will want to see a replica of what he believes in us. I was inspired into leadership when I saw how he led Abia State. The only governor that has no scandal. Nobody dragged his name around. I'm from Abia State, for some of you who know. I was inspired as a young man. Do you know when I was running for deputy speaker, he was not well. He invited me to sit with him. And he said, even though I'm not strong, mommy was there, even though I'm not strong, I'm going to talk to those who are contesting against you that you are the right person to go. Did he do that? Yes, he did. That's the kind of leader we are talking about. The spirit of a man that is full of peace. Just look at how calm this atmosphere is. It's a reflection of his spirit. He resolved dispute without making noise. He was more calm about his approach to solving problems. I like it when Governor Amaechi said, he invited me, I want to work with you. What a humility. To have authority and have humility is not easy. In a time when people who have power want to show you how powerful they are. Oh, what are you taking home? A night of questions. You are powerful, right? What is the element of humility in it? Humility is not the way you walk. It's not the way you want people to see you as humble. It's in action. The ability to sit with your juniors and encourage them to become superiors tomorrow. That is humility. And that was what he represented. I can go on, MC. But remember, among all the people that have spoken here, I am the next generation. We belong to the next generation. And you should care for our generation. Men like these that inspire us should remain forever in our eyes. They did not inspire us by the wealth of their pocket, but they inspired us with the wealth of their character. They did not inspire us because they held authority. They inspire us because they were humble in authority. I leave this question with you. What virtue will you leave behind if we are to describe you both today and when you are gone? May the Lord grant you the fortitude, the family, to bear these laws. It is irreplaceable. But be consoled in the fact that your father has inspired people like Benjamin Okezekalo and many others to work diligently in the path that he believed is the best for this country. Was he a lover of Nigeria? The answer is yes. Do we love Nigeria? The answer is yes. May his soul rest in perfect peace. Yeah. That was a very powerful speech. He spoke from the heart, you know. And one thing kept resonating, a night of question, a night of question. I didn't want to ask questions. I didn't want to. I'm a comedian, I'm not a politician. I didn't want to ask questions. But since he has tagged it a night of question, now I'm angry. Not angry because we lost a great man, but angry because we are gathered here extolling his virtues, talking about principles, integrity, everything that he represented. And despite all these things that we unanimously acknowledge that he represented, night of question, why didn't Nigeria allow him become president? Why? He tried twice. I move on. The next to speak, Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, is the national chairman of the ruling APC. Please, a round of applause as I invite Alhaji Abdullahi Ganduje. Please, a round of applause for him as he comes forward.
Thank you. I hope you are not expecting me to answer the question, as he was the chairman of a great party. I'm a chairman of a party, but I think both himself and myself are not in position really to answer why he was not elected as the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. In the name of God, the most gracious, the most merciful. Your Excellency, the former President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, my friend and my boss, Dr. President Goodluck Ebele Jonathan, the Deputy Speaker, Right Honorable Deputy Speaker, House of Representatives, my friend, the former Governor of Ebonyi State and now the Honorable Minister of Works, all Honorable Ministers who are here with us, the two former Secretaries to the Government of the Federation who are here with us, members of the National Assembly, most importantly, the families of the man in question, that is Dr. Ogbonnaya Onu. Ladies and gentlemen, peace be upon you all. It is with a great sense of honor and a heart filled with grief that I stand before you all this night on behalf of our great party, the All Progressive Congress, APC, to deliver this tribute to a respected politician and a kind-hearted man, the late Chief Dr. Ogbonnaya Onu. Permit me the honor to convey the feeling of loss of the unfortunate demise of this great man, whom I had the privilege of meeting on numerous occasions in our collective efforts to deepen democratic echoes, enshrine the rule of law, and proffer solutions to a litany of political and socio-economic problems in Nigeria. On every occasion, the late Chief Dr. Ogbonnaya Onu's impressive personality and charisma always resonated with me. I'm not unmindful of the significant emotional trauma this unfortunate incident must have had on his immediate family members, friends, political associates, and the good people of Ebonyi State, the Southeast, and Nigeria in general. Even in this trying time, I urge the immediate family of the deceased and everyone here to draw solace and fortitude from the knowledge that in the most difficult of circumstances, God is always near and will never forsake his chosen ones. He was a man of many strengths, with intimidating academic credentials, first-class graduate of chemical engineering from the University of Lagos. He was a pioneer staff in the Faculty of Engineering and the first head of the Department of Chemical Engineering, University of Port Harcourt. Dr. Onu was the first civilian governor of Abia State. He was also the first chairman of the Conference of Nigerian Elected Governors. As governor of Old Abia State, he leveraged technology to fast-track the development of the state with the establishment of Abia State Technology Village, College of Technical Education, Orochukwu, Abia State Polytechnic, Aba, and he attracted the University of Agriculture, Umodike, from the federal government. All these are as testimony to his unwavering love for education, especially science and technology. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, as the national chairman of the All Nigerian People's Party, ANPP, Dr. Onu played a significant role in the merger process culminating in the All Progressive Congress APC formation. His exemplary qualities and credentials led to his appointment as the Minister of Science and Technology. Dr. Onu left when his intellectual leadership prowess were most needed. He was a seasoned engineer and scholar who distinguished himself in his professional and political career. He will be remembered for his contributions to the sustenance of democracy and adherence to the rule of law in Nigeria. It is my most sincere prayer that the Almighty God, in his infinite mercy, will grant his family members, friends, and relatives the resolute spirit to bear this unfortunate loss, even as we pray for the repose of the soul of Dr. Onu, a rare gem and Democrat par excellence. May he find eternal rest in the bosom of the Lord. Amen. Thank you, and God bless.
Thank you, Your Excellency, the Chairman of the ruling party, the APC, Alhaji Abdullahi Ganduje. All right, Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, please, you must have been handed a candle. We want to do something special after the next speaker. We're going to do a minute of silence. But before then, we'll all light this candle. So if you have this candle,
It is not for you to put in your bag and take away. Yeah. So when we get to that point, the switch is right underneath. You'll turn on. You'll be expected to turn on the switch. Then we'll observe a minute of silence, and after that, the program will continue. But to speak now is the former Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces and President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome His Excellency Dr. Goodluck Ebele Jonathan, GCFR, and former President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
Thank you. Please be seated. Please be seated. Let me appreciate the wife, our late brother, the children, and immediate family first. The chairman of APC, my good friend, His Excellency Dr. Ganduje, thank you for being here with us. The Right Honorable Deputy Speaker, House of Representatives, thank you for your brilliant speech. After listening to you, I think we would have ended there. I am Pius Ayim, the former Senate President and the Secretary to Government that worked